From NBC News, this is Today with Bryant Gumbel and Catherine Currick.
That's right. We'll be switching gears ever so slightly, and Bryant will be talking to the always interesting, often controversial Material Girl herself, Madonna, about her new movie, Body of Evidence. Coming up on 7:25, and in our next half hour, some new music for our 41st birthday, and oh yeah, Madonna. First, a station break.
Straight ahead in this half hour, you know who.
Ding, 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 ding. That one?
Oh, Material
that
Girl.
Was, yeah, sorry.
I got that one.
I
yeah.
know, that was weak.
Madonna is going to be along with us in just a little bit.
Anyway, that's it. We're waiting for you to come down here, Brian, and get that barbecue set
We'll
up.
be there on Monday, Willie.
Arkansas barbecue, baby.
Hey, Willie, go get next to a monitor, because you know who is next.
Yeah, I saw the promo. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Madonna's next, talking about Body of Evidence, right after this.
I'd like to think that I did a good enough job that they could watch the movie, and maybe they start out thinking of me as the celebrity or thinking of the public persona that I have, but maybe halfway through they get lost in and don't think of it.
When pop music's foremost superstar decides to try a serious role in a serious movie, she sets herself up for a lot of criticism. But criticism is something Madonna knows a lot about. As the film Body of Evidence opens nationwide tomorrow, Madonna's a safe bet to draw flack for her portrayal of Rebecca Carlson. But she's also a safe bet to pack the 2,000 theaters that'll show the film. Because love her or hate her, she is a source of considerable fascination, even on film in a courtroom.
Is it your sworn testimony that by coincidence alone, you happened to date both Andrew Marsh, who died from a combination of sex and drugs, and the doctor who treated him for drug poisoning?
Portland's a small city. I even dated a man who dated a woman you dated.
Do you think you're capable of just answering the questions put to you?
I'm just trying to explain myself.
Let's talk about Rebecca Carlson.
Okay.
Was the part written specifically for you?
Not at all.
You think it's a perfect fit?
I think I played the shit out of it, if that's what you're asking me. I mean, I think there was probably a lot of other actresses that could have done a good job. I made it mine. Did I answer your question?
Partly. Let me rephrase.
Okay.
Was Rebecca Carlson an easy fit for you?
What does that mean?
As you put on the character, take on the character.
An easy fit. Not necessarily, because she's a very secretive person that doesn't reveal a lot about herself, and I'm completely the opposite. I'm very forthcoming. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I don't think she does, so in that respect, we're very different.
When I was a kid, I liked to steal strawberries. I'd sneak into the neighbor's yard at the end of the street, and I remember they had a big fence. And I'd always scrape my knees climbing over it. And then on the other side, they had these wild rose bushes. And the thorns would dig into my legs and cut my thighs when I slid down. But the strawberries always tasted so sweet.
The sex scenes in the film are going to get an awful lot of attention. They are erotic.
Are they?
I think most would say they are.
Did you think that?
Parts of them.
Which ones?
I'm not sure it would be beneficial to anybody who hasn't seen the movie for me to detail which ones.
Okay.
Some of them were original.
Mm-hmm. Once again, I didn't write the script. So.
I didn't suggest you did.
Okay.
You're not accused. Were they difficult for you to shoot?
Yeah, definitely.
How come?
Because there's like a crew of 50 guys hanging around with walkie-talkies and headsets on, and people you don't know, and it's hard. It's hard to just relax, and you know, plus you have to do take after take after take. It helped. Willem was great because he's very easygoing.
I read that that music was played during the love scenes to create an air of comfort and conviviality. True?
Two of the love scenes, yes. I played Led Zeppelin. I asked the director.
A Whole Lot of Love?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Someone told you this, obviously.
No, I was just guessing. I mean, what else would fit from Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
Why didn't they play your stuff?
Oh. I don't want to hear my music. That's not going to relax me. I have to get lost. No, because it's my music. It's too personal. I can't. I would be, you know, thinking about stuff.
I can assume you've seen the finished product, the film, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. When you watch it up on the screen, particularly the love scenes, easy to watch?
Mm-mm. No, the entire movie is not easy for me to watch.
Why?
Because it's me, and it's very hard to watch your work without being really critical. I prefer actually not to watch myself. It's just hard. It's like, you know, I think the way you feel when you're in the moment doing the scene is never what it looks like.
There are going to be people, like it or not, who are going to walk into that theater with their preconceived opinions of you.
Right.
Do you think that's going to make it very difficult for them to separate you from Rebecca on screen?
It's possible, but I like to think that I did a good enough job that they could watch the movie, and maybe they start out thinking of me as the celebrity or thinking of the public persona that I have, but maybe halfway through they get lost and don't think of it.
What the hell did you say to my wife?
Nothing. I asked if you were there and you weren't.
Why'd you call?
I wanted to know if I still had a lawyer.
You're such a liar.
What do you think, Frank? I called to tell her all the nasty details? Maybe I gave her some advice. Gets easier, doesn't it, Frank?
Is it going to be extremely difficult for you to read critical assessments, see critical assessments of the film?
Everything I do is criticized. I expect it to a certain extent. I mean, is that what you're asking me?
But you don't brush it off.
Am I afraid of it?
But you don't brush it off. I'm wondering if it is not. Look, I mean, you've got a track record of such success in music that to a certain extent you can say, hey, you know what? You can criticize as much as you want. They're buying my records. The movie industry is something different. Again, I'm wondering if your reaction to criticism on screen is different than your reaction to criticism in a business in which you've had an awful lot more success.
Yeah, but I think people basically review my work across the board the same way. I mean, I think there's always a handful of people that that review my records and really are reviewing the music, and then there's lots of people who can't get past how they feel personally about me, and that inevitably seeps into the review of whatever they do. I think that's going to be true for my acting too.
In an interview, you admitted that to date your film career has not been a roaring success.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that's so?
Because I haven't concentrated on it as much as my music career. Most people don't become big movie stars until they've done lots of movies, and so they're sort of allowed to make mistakes, make bad choices, be mediocre, and have a body of work together before they're truly, you know, put up there and judged and criticized. And I was pretty famous when I made my first movie, and so I've never had that chance to sort of grow anonymously and make mistakes and stuff. So I feel that, in a way, the expectations for everything that I've done have always been higher than most.
Is there a point at which you'd say, hey, you know what, maybe I'm not cut out for movies?
Is there a point? I mean, that's a very strange question.
I guess what I'm saying is...
If I ever got to a point where I said, hey, this isn't any fun, I'm not really digging this, it's not worth it, I'm not learning anything from it.
I'm beating my head against the wall, people refuse to accept it, I can't get past this, they won't see me as that, they keep wanting to limit me, they keep wanting to put me in this box.
You're approaching it from the public perception point of view, and I'm approaching it from the artist point of view, and an actress, and what I do, my own work. You keep approaching everything from what everybody thinks, and I approach everything. If I was worried about what people thought about me and I let that paralyze me or stop me, I would have stopped years ago.
Long range, you more interested in pursuing films than music?
I'm still equally interested in both.
That's very diplomatic.
But I am.
No, I believe you.
It's not got anything to do with diplomacy. I mean, I truly love music and I truly love film.
And tomorrow morning, when we continue our conversation with Madonna, we'll talk about her music, her family, her ambitions, and yes, her book. 7:48. There's more after a break. This is Today on NBC. Well, anyway.
I'm really dying to know which sex scenes you found erotic, Bryant. Not.
Most people are dying to know what was that room. No, it wasn't my apartment or hers. It was the rotunda at the Hotel Pierre here in New York. It was smaller than yours. We're back in just a moment. Station order.
From NBC News, this is Today with Bryant Gumbel and Catherine Currick.
We got a couple of big names on this front, too. We'll hear from Nick Nolte, from Coretta Scott King on this, her late husband's birthday, and we'll have part 2 of our very special and exclusive interview with Madonna.
Would you like to know what we're doing in this half hour?
That's kind of why we went there, but go ahead.
Good. No, I'll tell you because you have an exciting interview in this half hour as well. But let me tell you about mine first. We've got a profile of George Stephanopoulos. He's the young man we came to know as Bill Clinton's campaign spokesman. He's now been named communications director for the Clinton White House.
Okay, and also coming up in just a couple of moments, the second part of our exclusive conversation with Madonna. This morning she talks about her ambitions, her critics, her career, her family, and yes, her book. 7:30, you remember the book, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured you might. 7:31. And then photographs of a different sort. We'll talk about those with Madonna. This morning she discusses her book, her family, her critics, her future, her ambitions. There's more to come after these messages. Of all the things that can be said to or about Madonna, what supposedly irks her most are statements that center on the way she's marketed herself. She feels it minimizes her talent. Whatever the merits of her complaint, there's no minimizing her success. At 34, she is the most famous woman in the entertainment business. She sells albums by the millions, has a reported $60 million deal with Time Warner that includes specials and her own record label, and her recently released book called Sex supposedly sold 1 million copies at $50 a pop. There's even a collection of scholarly studies on her entitled The Madonna Connection: Representational Politics, Subcultural Identities, and Cultural Theory. It's a book that tries to understand why so many are so fascinated by her, a fact that seems to even puzzle her. In all the years I've been doing this,
Yes?
I have had the pleasure of doing a zillion and one different people from all walks of life, and my friends who know me have never asked to come on to any other interview. And yet for this one, doctors, lawyers, designers, friends, family, everybody wanted to come along. What is it about you people find so fascinating?
I don't know. I think you should ask them.
They just wanted to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen all the time?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people who don't want to meet me. I don't know.
Doesn't strike you as bizarre or unusual?
Well, I'm a celebrity, and I think a lot of people want to meet celebrities. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, I guess so, part of the time. I also heard that you recently went home for the holidays, first time in a long time. Well, how was it?
Well, first time in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I'd sleep on the floor in a sleeping bag.
You didn't sleep on a floor in a sleeping bag.
Okay, I didn't sleep on the floor. I had to sleep on the floor in an air mattress, okay? That's just as bad.
Serious?
Yeah.
Is it hard when the whole family gets together and, I mean, everybody in the family is family except for...
Well, you know, when I go home, I don't get any sort of special treatment. And in a way, it's a relief.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, do they still, I mean, just as they ever did, push you, hit you, yell at you, fight with you, scream at you, argue?
Nobody pushes me around anymore.
Why am I not surprised?
I think my brothers know better. I mean, my older brothers used to torture me, but I think all older brothers do that.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Can I ask what you got for Christmas?
Sure. I mean, lots of different things. Clothes, jewelry, shoes, books.
What Daddy
What
give?
everybody gets.
What Daddy give you?
He gave me a statue of the Virgin Mary and Child. Very beautiful.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still Daddy's little girl? If you ever were?
Ooh, what does that mean? Daddy's little girl.
Daddies have a tendency to dote on their daughters, to always see their daughters in the purest of terms, to always think the absolute best of them, to think they can do no wrong.
Well, I think that's true to a certain extent. I have 3 other sisters, so I had to share that title, Daddy's little girl, with other girls. But I think that I'm still, you know, my father's daughter, which is, you know, he feels very protective of me, and certain elements of our relationship will never change, you know. He's the boss when I'm in his house.
And when you're not in his house?
I'm the boss.
Does he accept that?
Yes.
In Truth or Dare, when Dad was going to come to the show, you warned him about, hey, there's parts of the show you may be uncomfortable with.
Right.
Like a virgin, touched for the very first time. Whoa.
What'd Dad think of sex?
Of the book?
Yeah.
He hasn't seen it.
He has to have heard about it.
Of course he's heard about it, but it's not the kind of book my father would read, you know? It's not a book for everybody.
Do you think he'd like the book if he saw it?
I don't think he would understand it, no. In order to like or dislike something, I believe you truly have to understand something.
I'll come to you when you say, I know you want me.
It has become fashionable in a lot of circles to diss Madonna, to criticize her, to put her down.
Throw shade on me.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody tries to brush it off. How much of it sticks?
Depends on what kind of a mood I'm in. Some days, you know, some weeks, months go by and things that people say about me don't affect me at all, and then I could be in a really sensitive mood and read something and feel wounded about it, but life goes on and I get past it.
Are there any mechanisms you use to get past it? I mean, some people binge themselves on eating, others go out and grab a bottle, some people run it off, some people write letters. Some people cry.
I don't know if a bad review ever made me cry. I get a lot of aggression out when I work out. I also have a lot of good friends who are very supportive of me, and if I say, like, oh God, I can't believe somebody said that about me, I have people going, what are you complaining about? There's so many people that love you, you have a great life, whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? It's...
Yeah.
So that helps.
You never had the urge, I mean, I know, like, for example, Roseanne Barr, we were talking earlier about Roseanne, she likes to pick up a pen and a pencil and...
Write notes.
Yeah, scribble nasty things off to people. Never?
It's not worth it. No.
A couple of wrap-up questions. You're a very young lady. What do you see yourself doing, let's say, 15 years from now?
I have no idea.
Oh, come on. Everybody has some idea. Maybe being retired, being a...
Retired?
Yeah.
No way.
No way?
Retired doing what? Like gardening or something?
What do you feel like doing?
I have no idea.
Sex too? I don't know.
No, I don't know what I'll be doing in 15 years. I just don't.
If you could write the script, okay, for the next 10, 20 years, what's it include? If you had your druthers?
What does it include? More free time.
Everything I read about you says that if you had a spare moment, you would try to read something to look for a script, that you would try to listen to a new group, that you would try to write something, that you would try to work on something, that you are a compulsive worker and compulsively ambitious.
I am. I am. But on the other hand, I still want more free time.
To do what?
To have fun, to hang out, to do nothing, to read, to play dictionary with my friends, to, I don't know, be silly.
Do you think that your fans will allow you to age with their blessing?
It's not my concern what my fans think of my aging. That's not important.
What is?
Being true to myself as an artist and being happy in life. That's important.
You happy now?
Yeah.
It's 7:46, and we're back in just a moment on a Friday morning. This is Today on NBC.